It hasn't broke down yet. My crispy hasn't gone off, although they warned it might. No. Anyway, we want to thank you all for coming out to our chamber luncheon for July. So we have, minutes? We have the announcements. We're working on our September Armed Forces Day Parade. And we had another meeting the other day, and in our September Fest, it looks like it's going to be a good one this year. So we have it planned for the 16th.
It's going to be a great one this year.
Yeah. We're going to have a pancake breakfast to start it out with, and then we're going to have a big parade, and we're going to have some cars.
What time's the pancake breakfast start?
We're kind of looking at 7 to 9:30
Okay, at the chamber
at
office?
the chamber office.
At the event center there.
And we're gonna, veterans will be free, and I think they're charging $5 for a pancake breakfast, which is not too bad. So it should work out real good. September Fest, we're gonna have lots of good things going on over there at the park. A lot of vendors, and we'll have a couple new ones this year. We're looking to have a video games inside the arcade. So that should attract some kids. We're looking to have maybe work with the Little League, have their snack bar open, maybe have some contests there. So we got a lot of new things, and we think that's going to be a really good day. And we're working on starting to work on the Christmas parade. We're going to have what are we going to have there, Jack?
We're going to have a Santa's Village, and on top of the gift giveaways like we did last year, we're also going to turn to a regular Santa's Village with some snow and that kind of stuff. We're also talking about Dave coordinating a food giveaway. In addition to that, I'm going to give it Marshall because he's involved in the clothing giveaway. So we're kind of wanting to do the food, clothing, and gift giveaway as part of the Santa's Village, decorate it up and make it look real nice.
And we might have a few vendors there to sell crafts, and maybe even a food booth or two.
Yep.
You know, so we're trying to, and then of course. I understand that the Vietnam Wall is coming on the 11th. We're going to be participating in that, helping out in every way we can. So we got a lot going. Anything else, Jack, you can think of?
I believe that's pretty much it for now. And I know that Barbara's going to touch on the Vietnam Wall project as well, so I'll leave that for her.
Do you have a grand marshal for the,
We do, well, tentatively we do. I'm waiting for the final confirmation so we can get all the marketing material out. But we're waiting for the bio and everything on the Grand Marshal. As soon as we do, I'll pass that on to you.
okay, appreciate it, yeah,
And but we do. I just don't have the name and bio yet.
okay,
So it would be from the base.
good,
And we're supposed to have judges from the base this year as well. So we're getting a lot of participation from the base, and we thank Robert Mejia for that. The quartermaster of the VFW has been in constant contact with the base and coordinating all that stuff for us. So he's been a big help for us this year, base participation.
Our search and rescue coordinator, he passed away, unfortunately. So,
Jim Osborne,
yeah.
he recently passed away, so we're looking for his replacement, who that person will be. He did an amazing job helping us on all the parades, coordinating all the CSU and the barrier and the street closures, and he would actually go over and pick up all the barriers for us with his guys. So he did a lot, and he was really supportive of the parade and the chamber and community, things of that nature. So we're going to miss him. Hopefully our replacement, whoever that is, will will be following his footsteps and his legacy. Because he was a really good guy.
And I think we have a chamber thing coming up in Tehachapi in October.
October.
Right.
So,
East Kern Chamber Summit.
yeah, so hopefully we'll learn some new techniques.
All right. Other than that, let's go around with our introductions and anything you want to talk about real quick.
I'm Gretchen Winfrey, president of the Kern Animal Historical Society, I think as all of you know. We don't have any activities going on during the summer. July and August are the months where we're dark. But we'll start in September, and so stay tuned. And if you're not a business member, we sure would like to have you join, or if you just want to join as a personal member, I have another
I'm Charlene Melchers, longtime Rosamond resident.
And she's been doing a wonderful job coordinating our September festival. So I give her kudos and recognition for that, please.
Linda Hernandez, Family Faith Center in Rosamond.
Dave Hernandez, pastor of the Family Faith Center.
Any announcements you want to make? Or?
We are doing a food ministry. We call it The Bridge. We do it every other week. We give out anywhere from $75 to $100 worth of groceries. We feed about 160 people is what we've been doing. That's kind of what our focus is this summer.
Is that on an ongoing basis, the 100?
That's every other week,
Every Saturday.
every other Saturday, I should say.
Oh, okay. Good. Joe?
We've been busy at RMAC. Coming up, I got selected to be on the Sheriff's Advisory Council and then the Subcommittee of Public Safety, or Community Policing, I'm sorry. So I'm going to be the squeaky wheel, and I don't think we really need, coffee with the cop and all that. I think people are happy, with the deputies. We just need more. We just need more out here. We need to get our resource officers back in the schools and get our level. But some of the issues they're having is they're offering $25,000 sign-on bonus, $2,000 a month stipend to live out in these outlying areas. But you have Alameda that's doing $75,000. Berkeley's doing $40,000 sign-on bonus. Inglewood's doing $30,000. And being this close to LA County, what's hindering is the pay. What Kern County pays, they're having a hard time attracting qualified people who want to come out and do the job and be ridiculed and with the defund the police movement and all that at the low pay. So there's some challenges that they're working on.
You also pay 10.5% sales tax.
Yeah.
in those people.
Yeah. And then the other thing, the big project that we're going to be talking about tonight is from 2018 until present, there's been 144 accidents from Sierra Highway to Glendower. 98 just at the Glendower B Street. So we had a meeting, we got brought up to speed, and they're going to be putting delineators at Glendower and B, where you won't be able to make left-hand turns. You can only make right-hand turns out of those two streets, and hopefully that's going to help with the accidents. And I don't know, there was one a couple months ago on Desert that was overturned. For that, in front of the school over there, they must be flying down Rosen Boulevard in order to get flipped over.
They are flying.
They are.
Very
Apparently,
much
you're
so.
not there.
Yeah.
They said on Facebook they're looking for 100 or 1,000 men and women
For the CHP.
CHP, 1,000.
Yeah, they're hurting. And then within 3 weeks, we talked to adult aging services for people 60 and over. They're going to come out here and start doing some computer classes at Hummel Hall. And they have some programs that if you haven't bought any electronics within 5 years, they have some programs where they give free iPads to seniors. So a lot of good things happening. We're taking baby steps trying to get some of these out here. And Barbara, I don't know, I haven't talked to Fallon. Did Public Health ever get back to her on the immunizations?
I believe that she is communicating now with someone
Okay.
who is affiliated with Bond/Albertsons, who wants to come out and do for the school students. I'm not sure if it's
Yeah, 'cause I talked to Public Health. I put them in touch with Fallon.
Yeah.
And then they're going to be partnering with Adventists. They're in the process of, he told me that they're in the process of partnering up with Adventists. So that'll free up some more, hopefully, some more clinics. And they said, well, we have a clinic in Ridgecrest. I said, that's an hour and a half away from us. They said, our parents can barely afford to get their kids to school. So a lot of good things happening here in the community. So.
Oh my gosh, I ordered soup. Oh, thank you.
Hi, everybody. Laura Lynn Wyatt with Supervisor Scrivener's office. We, to say we're busy is an understatement. So I'm going to try to rein in my focus and concentrate on some things that I feel directly affect or have impact on business owners in Rosamond. I wish Fran Thompson was here, but Gretchen, I know you are a frequent library user. They have done an excellent job with programming this year. There is something going on every day at the library. David was here last month and he's just working really hard and doing a really good job. But I received a phone call that one of the large rooms, the air conditioning unit was not keeping up and was not working properly. I reported that right away, and I was told that Mojave Library Branch was having the same issue. Their unit was about the same time frame, I had to be in Mojave this morning, so I went by and they were on the roof of that library branch repairing that unit. So I would anticipate any day, if not this afternoon, maybe they will get that repaired. So if you can pass that along, it is, the work order's there. The elephant in the room, everybody asks me 1,000 times a day about the swimming pool. It's a beautiful facility. I can't wait to share it with the community. $1.6 million was budgeted for that rehab project. I would anticipate by the time we are done combating vandalism, unfortunately, we're going to be very close to $2 million. We have beautiful, brand new, heavy duty picnic tables, the ones that have the rubber coating on them. We put those out. They were chained to concrete pillars so they couldn't drag them across the new decking of the pool. The chains were cut and the picnic tables were thrown into the pool.
Wow.
With water resistance, can you imagine the task of getting them back out of the pool? We got that fixed. A few days later, the crews arrived to find dirt in the pool. It is a construction scene. They had to remove a lot of dirt. I shared with you about the compacting that had to happen to prevent the decking from being ruined again like it was when it was first built. They had to dig 2 feet down and recompact underneath the cement before they could pour the cement. And through that process, there is a dirt pile that is still at the construction site. I have requested through construction services that dirt pile be removed. I guess it was a temptation because shovelfuls of dirt were thrown into the pool. So it's 5 steps forward, 3 steps backwards, and it's expensive. Now we have to pay for repairs. Now we have to pay for staff time to take care of these repairs. Lifeguards. We need 15 full-time lifeguards to be open 7 days a week. The Red Cross certification process is rigorous, as it should be, right? We would all expect that. You're responsible for life-saving technique, right? through the process of people just moving on to other jobs or deciding that they didn't want to go through the training, or they just didn't pass the training in some cases. We are hiring right now. We have 8 that we can hire. So we are talking with the Murac School District. They own and operate the new swimming pool in Boron. They aren't seeing some of the attendance that they anticipated, so during the week they're frequently closing the pool early. So we are speaking with them and hoping we can maybe borrow lifeguards that wish to have more hours. That, you know, if they have to close the pool in Boron, maybe a couple of them would want to pick up some extra hours. So that's a process that we're kind of trying to work through. But right now, as of today, we only have 8.
Would you open the pool for a limited number of days?
Absolutely.
With 8?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the plan right now. Yes. I understand, you know, we've been very careful. There's setbacks with construction. There always is, right? So we've been very careful not to go out with a specific date of opening. This summer has been the, right? Well, this summer doesn't technically end for quite a while, but the kids go back to school very early. When I went to school, I went back to school after Labor Day, right? So it's still the plan to open this summer. We will have as many hours as we can with as many lifeguards as we have available to us. There's a lot of restrictions with regards to lifeguards. You have to have a certain number based on, you know, that say you have 2 lifeguards, for example, that dictates how many people you're allowed to have in the pool. That dictates how many hours those lifeguards are allowed to work. Fatigue is very, very important. You don't want lifeguards that are fatigued. You can't let them sit in the sun for 10 hours without a break, things like that. The Red Cross is very strict about that kind of stuff. So we are still moving forward. The plan is still to open the pool this summer. The restrooms at that park were locked over the weekend because someone put an unknown thing down the toilets in the men's restroom. Whatever that was beyond the capabilities of a hardware store snake. So we had to lock them so that we could get a plumber dispatched to remove the toilets and get down into the plumbing. I was just there. He just finished them today, so they're now, again, they're open and operational. Thank you very much. Measure K, as you all know, Measure K passed in November. The county did start to collect the money around April. For this fiscal year, about $13 million came in through additional money through Measure K. Next year will be a full year. They anticipate that to be around 56 million. That is public safety money. There is an advisory committee that has been formed. Each supervisor received 1 appointee to that committee. Supervisor Scrivener has appointed a gentleman by the name of Jeff Kermode. Jeff Kermode is retired law enforcement with 38 plus years experience. He knows that this needs to be the focus of this money, so he is advocating for District 2. Budget is coming. Budget hearings are in the works right now. Monday evening at 6 p.m. there is a special public meeting regarding the budget. There are, I need to refer to my notes because I don't have this part memorized. I apologize. Some of the focus on the budget that is being proposed is replacing our regional first responder communication network that is very antiquated. That is a $170 million undertaking to make sure that our law enforcement and our fire department and our ambulance workers can communicate correctly and have good, you have to have service, right? You can't be in a dead zone if you are a police officer that needs to request backup. So these are very complicated communication systems. and Kern County's is old and needs upgrading and needs to be replaced. Focusing on increasing public safety response times. Joel touched on some of the things some of the incentives that they are working towards. Supervisor Scribner has been working closely with Sheriff Youngblood to try to eliminate some of the challenges with regards to lateral transfers. So if you are a deputy for another county and you want to laterally transfer to Kern County, by law, the Sheriff's Department is required to staff detentions first. So if your jails are not staffed, that's where your bodies are going to go. You're not going to see boots on the street. And that's just law. That's how it is. Detentions deputies are just got a 22% pay increase to try to draw those numbers up. But if you are a deputy, say you've been on the road for 3 or 4 years in LA County and you want to transfer to Kern, the way that the policies were written, you had to go to the detention facility. That's like going backwards in your career, right? They're like, we already did our time in the jail. We want to be on the road. So Supervisor Scribner is working with Sheriff Youngblood right now to get around, work around that. There's multiple things built into this budget. I don't want to talk for the entire hour, although I could, and that would be rude to Barbara. But if you guys have any questions, please ask me, and please pay attention. If you cannot attend the meeting, the special public meeting evening, please email me if you have a comment about the budget, and I will make sure that email is pushed forward. And I know I forgot 1,000 things, but it's okay.
You'll remember them tonight.
I will. 3 a.m.
Al, anything you want to mention?
No, Al Wallace, Rosamond Community Service District. No,
Okay. And we'll get Barbara last because she's our guest speaker. John?
John Joyce, Rosamond News.
Okay. I'm Jack Miller, Vice President, Chamber of Commerce.
I'm Gene Melchers, President of Chamber.
And the only last thing I want to mention is invoices for Chamber membership will be going out this week.
And all of our wonderful employees. So what I did for today was to sort of create a sheet, and I will share it with you after I'm finished, if anybody wants it, just to give you a current status on the school district as of today, to the best of my ability. And then at the end, I'm going to sort of touch on some generic things. If you have questions, hopefully I'll watch my or Jack, you can, like, where's Jack? You can cut me off or whatever, because there is a lot to say. So again, thank you for inviting me. Our theme for last year in Southern Kern Unified School District was embracing the whole child. And so some of you might say, well, what does that literally mean? We had 2 years of COVID, 1 year that hit in March. At that time, no one really knew what was COVID, how long would we be out. We were 2 days away from going out on a spring break. I thought at the end of the spring break, COVID will come and go, and we'll be back in school. Well, that wasn't the case. I got a call from the superintendent in Kern County telling me, you need to close down now. I said, I only have 1 more day till it's spring break. Can I not? No, I need you to close it down now. And so it wasn't just Southern Kern, it was all the districts. So we did, and we were out for the rest of the year and the entire next year, almost the entire year. So we felt like when we returned to in-person instruction again, what we found in our students, many of them, certainly not all, was not only had they suffered a loss in education, because a lot of the students did not Zoom in on a regular basis with those teachers, And they also lost that time that they've shared with their friends, with their teachers, with their classmates at school. So they also had some social emotional loss. So we felt that in addressing the whole child, we were not only talking about the academics of the child, but we were talking about making sure that the kids were exposed to the arts, making sure that the kids had all the social emotional ability to be heard by a mental health therapist or a school psychologist or a social emotional learning specialist, as well as addressing their physical well-being and the hierarchy of needs, child nutrition, etc. So this is our theme last year, and we felt like that we really like this. We like the progress we're making, meeting the needs of our kids, so we decided to stay with embracing the whole child again for this year. We have 6 schools in Southern Kern. We have 2 elementaries, 1 middle school, a comprehensive high school, a continuation high school, and a independent study school. All 3 of our high schools in continuation or comprehensive and our independent study are all WASC accredited. They were accredited for 6 years, and Rosamond High just recently passed a mid-year cycle review. So we're very happy that they're all WASC accredited. As of yesterday at 5 o'clock, enrolled. I'm talking enrolled for the 23-24 year, and I'm telling you that we're averaging about 10 to 15 students a day. We're at 3,597 students, which will probably take us way over this 3,600 mark by August 9th when school starts, because unfortunately, like probably none of you would do, but some parents wait until the day before or the day of or even the day after to enroll their kids. The lines, I know Mrs. Melcher's over there is like, I remember that. The line is like, you're just wondering, how did you not know school started? But anyway, that's what we have. So we have at Rosamond High Early College Campus, we're very proud of the fact that, and I don't know if you are aware of this, we have 10 CTE pathways on that campus. And I'm just going to kind of run through them quickly. Welding and materials, systems and diagnostic services and repair, public safety, mental and behavioral health, residential and commercial construction, machine and forming technology, patient care, agri-science, animal science, and design, visual, and media arts. These are the 10 career technical pathways that the kids take. They take 2 years, sometimes they're 3-year pathways to complete this pathway. One of the things that WASC accreditation, when they came out to visit the high school, they were very impressed with the fact that there's 10 pathways here. We also have dual enrollment and concurrent college classes. Dual enrollment, there's a difference between dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment. Dual enrollment is when the child is in a class during the day that they're also getting college credit for. Concurrent enrollment is when they stay after school or maybe go home and come back at 5 o'clock and take a college class on their high school campus. We have both of those. Currently all of our college classes are aligned with Antelope Valley Community College. We're very proud of our sports programs. We have, I was able to bring back a former administrator from Southern Kern, Mr. Jim Johnson. I don't know if any of you know Jim. He is now acting as our athletic director and doing a phenomenal job of that. But just thought I'd share with you our athletic outcome for this past year, 22-23. We had Desert League champions. That's champions, you heard that right. in boys and girls basketball, boys soccer, and baseball.
Wow.
Our volleyball, our girls soccer, our softball, and track and field all qualified for the playoffs. So our kids are doing very, very well in athletics. Graduation rate at Rosamond High Early College Campus is 95%. Where we sometimes see a ding is when they average the graduation rate at Rare Earth, the continuation school. It has a tendency to bring the district graduation rate down. But Rosamond High has a 95% graduation rate. So that's always room for improvement, and that's how we view these numbers. We always strive to, what can we do to make it better? We currently have 460 employees in Southern Kern Unified School District. One of the things, and I hate to always touch on this, I try not to, but it is a fact. One of the reasons that Southern Kern in the past has gone into dire financial crisis is because at one point in time, 93% of the money coming into the district was going out on employee salary and benefits. And you cannot sustain a district, a school district, when you have that much money going out for employee benefits. And as we all know, medical benefits are not cheap. We get that, but and salaries are continually going up because we have to be able to compete with the Antelope Valley districts, Tehachapi, Mojave, Mira. We always try to compete to encourage more and more people to want to come and work for Southern Kern Unified School District. So 460 is our total employees. Now I'm happy to say that our percentage at the last board report that my CBO made is around 71% going out in employee. And so you might say, well, what did you, how is that possible, Barbara? Did you fire people? I did not. Have not fired or laid anybody off. Some of that was done before I arrived, unfortunately. But we're not hiring just to be hiring people. Gone are the good old days where if you knew somebody, you could get a job, or we're only hiring truly what we need. And we're prioritizing to make sure that these positions really, really benefit kids. So we're happy to have that. We have 182 teachers, classified staff 242, and management we have 36, and that includes everyone in whether they're classified management or certificated management. I was listening to Laura Lynn, and I was like, yes, Laura Lynn, I'm feeling your pain. Believe me, we can probably get up here and duke it out on construction. Construction frustration is a good way to put that. We have 4 projects in the works as I speak right now, big projects in Southern Kern. Tropico Middle School, we're adding 7 new buildings with 4 classrooms in each building, so that's 28 new classrooms at Tropico, a new track. There's going to be actual athletic equipment on both ends of the track outside for the kids to use to work out, new basketball courts, new volleyball courts, all of that. This is a $21 million project. You probably see them out there. And we've had, I could almost probably at least meet you, Laura Lynn, on that frustration. We have a water line, RCSD water line that provides water for all the homes behind Tropico, going right through our campus. So, that's fun. Let me just tell you. Did I beat you? I'm not trying to beat you, Laura Lynn. Really, I don't want to, but anyway, RCSD has been really great, and first we thought, are we gonna have to shut that off? And then what happens to all those homes behind Tropico? That was worked out. Thank you, RCSD, for your continued support there. This project is probably going to, we'd love to say it'll finish sometime in next summer, but it could end up going into a little bit of the fall. But we're optimistic that these new buildings will be in place hopefully before the onset of the 24-25 school year. Rosamond High Early College campus is getting a beautiful new cafeteria. It has not only an indoor facility, it has a covered outside facility where all the kids can sit and eat. This is a district-funded project, and this is a $15 million project. We're just waiting next week, I believe, or the week after. The bids will come in and a contractor will be selected to do this project. So we're hoping to see the dirt fly over at Rosamond High School perhaps end of August, first part of September for the high school cafeteria. And since I've been in Rosamond, this is my 5th year as your superintendent, one of the first things I noticed was if there's anything needed, in my opinion, in Southern Kern, it was a cafeteria at Rosamond High School. During COVID, I asked my director of grounds and maintenance, Raleigh Davis, if any of you know Raleigh. I said, Raleigh, I have to space these kids 6 feet apart, so can you go measure for me how many kids can eat? Because I have 800 some kids at Rosamond High and 2 lunches. So how many kids can I get in there? What are we going to need to do? And he came back and told me, you can have 14 kids. I said, 14 kids? What am I supposed to do with the other 786 kids? He said, So I was like, oh my gosh. And, you know, we don't ever anticipate another COVID or anything like that. I know I certainly hope I don't see another one in my lifetime, but who knows? So that's cool, those kids. There's no staff lounge at Rosamond High. The teachers really don't have a chance to get together and collaborate. So my goal is when the new cafeteria goes in place for the kids, the old cafeteria will be converted to a staff lounge for the teachers to go in there and be able to eat their lunch and have a microwave, have a refrigerator, etc., etc. Rosamond Elementary School, the old side of Rosamond Elementary, is in DSA right now. We're waiting for that to come out. That's going to be a modernization project. Our goal is also to have one day to be able to set aside a building there that happens to have a couple restrooms attached to it for a historical museum. We're just waiting for this to come out of DSA. That's about a $2 million project, and that is being funded. There'll be 8 new preschool TK, transitional kindergarten classrooms there, and so that is being funded by the state of California as well. $2 million. We've already the plans for it and everything are in Department of State architect, and when you put something in DSA, you are truly at their mercy. Could take, I don't know, 6 months, 6 weeks. It's depending on when they want to get it back to you. As I said, we have 3,597 students as of last night, and I predict that we're going to possibly hit 3,650. West Park Elementary over here on the west side was at 980 last year. There is no more room really over there. So this Monday, we're dropping 5 portables into that campus, and that's going to costing the district $500,000 to get all the, it's not just the portables, it's the electric, the plumbing, and all that stuff in place. They will start that next week, so that I'm hoping, I'm optimistic, but Raleigh tells me, don't get too optimistic. I may have to open West Park without those 5 classrooms being 100% ready. So obviously I can't put kids in them until the inspector of record tells me they're good to go. So, but we are, as you can see, if you just drive down Rosamond Boulevard, there's construction everywhere. We are not a declining enrollment district. Our enrollment here is going up. And I do get, we do see kids wanting to come from Mojave. They want to do an inter-district transfer from Mojave sometimes and other areas. And sometimes we have kids that want to leave our district as well. I'm sort of holding off right now, accepting a whole lot of kids from other districts until I can make sure that I can accommodate our own children here and in Southern Kern first. But it's always good when people want to bring their kids, but I certainly don't want to inherit other children who may have been kicked out of the other districts. I always check to make sure that they have the grades, they have the attendance, and they have the behavior. So that's very, very important to us. Last April 18th, I know some of you were there. We opened the Parent Community Center over right on the high school campus. This was a grant that I personally wrote, and we received $7.1 million to do various things in the community. So we opened this Parent Community Center. We have a grant coordinator who works in there. Right now it is open Mondays 9:30 to 12:30, Wednesday 9:30 to 12:30, and then 3:30 to 6:30, and then on Fridays from 9:30 to 12. We are having a backpack giveaway on July 31st, August 2nd, and August 4th for all of our foster and homeless children who are located in Southern Kern. We have about a little over 6% of our students are foster kids, and we have a little over 2% are homeless that fall under that classification of homeless. And it's not necessarily when you hear homeless that they're actually living on the street. They could be living with grandma and grandpa, and they fall under that designated code of being homeless. It's a little weird how the state classifies students. Currently in Southern Kern, about 83% of our students qualify for free and or reduced lunch. So we do have students who are in need. But we're doing a really, really great backpack giveaway. The Parent Community Center will take care of that. Also, when we talk about discipline in Southern Kern, one of the prevalent problems that we see here, we do have kids, especially at middle school, will fight sometimes, but most of our problems that could reach the level of expulsion are drug related. And so we have the drug dogs coming in every month. For the past 4 years, they have only been in our high schools and Tropico Middle School. And this saddens me, but I just want you to know this is where we are. I had 2 incidents, not just at Rosamond Elementary, but I had 1 incident over here at West Park where there were 4th graders smoking marijuana in the bathroom. So now this coming school year, I've decided that the drug dogs, once a month, will be in all of our schools. And that's a conversation that's a mountain I am willing to die on with the parents, because I can't keep your kids safe and I can't educate them if they're coming to school and passing marijuana, those what do they call them, vapes, etc., to other kids, or in a couple cases we've had a couple kids in high school actually selling them. So the drug dog doesn't hit on the child. The kids are taken out. The backpacks stay. The drug dog hits on the backpack. If they hit, sometimes we have no findings. Kids are getting smarter. We never announce the drug dogs. I don't even tell the principal. Hey, drug dogs are coming on Tuesday. I don't even tell them. I want nobody to know because I don't want people to be tipped off. But now kids are getting smarter, especially the older kids. They'll hide the drugs if they have it on their person, and the drug dogs don't hit on their body. And obviously, we can't strip them. We can look in their shoes. We can ask them to take off their belt. We can do, those sorts of things, but empty their pockets, pull their pockets out, but we don't go inside any clothing or anything of that nature. So, but it is an issue. I would say that about probably 75% of the students that were brought in front of the board this past year for expulsion, the board does rarely ever expels them. They'll send them to independent study for a semester, or but we're drug related. So there's definitely a concern, and I was heartbroken when I saw it hit my two elementary schools.
Now, Barbara, is there any legalities within the school district dealing with kids that if they were all standing in line and the dogs walked by them?
Typically, there could be some I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there could be a violation there of their rights, because someone might say, well, the dog, what did the dog do? If you've ever seen a drug dog actually hit on a drug, it's really amazing to watch the dog. The dog will go right to, let's say if there's a backpack laying on the floor, and if that backpack has any smell or scent or any item of drug paraphernalia in it, he will tap on that backpack, turn around, sit on his hind legs, and look at the sergeant or whomever, the man who's that drug dog's handler, straight in the face. And that is a sign. I've seen it over and over and over. And if you go to that backpack, 9 out of 10 times, there's something in there, or at least it smells. There's an odor of marijuana. So the dogs are really, really good, but we don't have them hitting on the kids. Just the kids' backpacks or the desks around there. Kids are outside of the room. And then we find out from the teacher whose backpack is that. And then backpack goes with the administrator, and then we get the kid, and it goes to the office, and we go from there. So it is an issue that we deal with, and so one of the things that that I'm having I want the parents, when the drug presenters they're called Canine Solutions, came to Southern Current and they did a presentation for all the site and district administrators. You would be surprised. I felt so stupid. You would be surprised at some of this drug vapes now. Some of them look like girls' lipstick. He had a Coke can. I picked it up. It wasn't even opened. The lid hadn't even been flipped on it. But that Coke can was so precisely made, there was drugs inside it. It's crazy. It's crazy. Some of them look like, this is a writing pen. Some of them look like writing pens. So we're bringing Canine Solutions out on August 15th, not for the students, but for all of the community and parents. I want the parents to be able to see. If you see something like this in your kid's parent, you might want to think this is not lip gloss, but it could be something else. So we're doing as many parent and community presentations to build awareness. The last one we did was on human and sex trafficking. We brought Opal Singleton from Me and Kids. She's renowned. She does a lot of research and does a lot of fundraising, etc., to help find kids who have been human or sex trafficked. So we had her at Rosamond Elementary before the school year ended. So that's August 15th at 6 p.m. in the gym at the high school. We will provide childcare for the kids. We're also bringing a Parent Institute. It's an 8-week institute at each one of our schools for the parents. It'll be done. Classes will be held in the evening in English and Spanish. They'll learn everything, including how to fill out a FAFSA form, how important is homework, how do you go online and check your children's grades, what's the best way to communicate, everything that would benefit our parents. We will start, our first one is going to be at Tropico on September 26th. And at the end of the 8 weeks, the parents actually have a graduation ceremony. They get certificates, they have cake, coffee. It's a big deal. And they get an opportunity to talk about what this institute meant to them. So, and we also provide childcare during the hour and a half that they're in class. It's one night a week for 8 weeks. We'll start at Tropico. Why Tropico? Because middle school kids, the love of my life. They really were. I was a middle school teacher. I don't know, call me crazy. But I love the middle school kids. But I think the parents, sometimes after leaving elementary, there's a little bit of a disconnect on what middle school is. So we're going to start it at Tropico, then we're going to the high school. The high school, Abe Lincoln and Rare Earth, the parents will all attend at the high school. Then we go to Rosamond Elementary and end up at West Park. So there are different dates that we'll be starting those. This is, it's expensive, these parent institutes, but this will all be funded from the community school grant that was written that we received the $7.1 million for. I just wanted to go back and touch briefly on the middle school. When we talk about providing choice for our kids in Southern Kern, as I mentioned, we have 10 CTE pathways at the high school. We have 17 different electives at Tropico Middle School that the kids can enroll in. Everything from Cadet Corps. We have Cadet Corps at the middle school. We have Hope Squad. Hope Squad is a social emotional class, not for the kids who are suffering from depression or anxiety. These are the kids that are learning a curriculum on how to deal with their classmates who may say, I feel like killing myself, or I feel like something like that. They learn this curriculum. And this year, we have it at high school, and we also have it at Tropico. There is Hope Squad 1, the kids who took it last year, will go into Hope Squad 2 this year. So we're trying to, in as many ways, sometimes peer-to-peer. A kid may not want to tell their teacher or the psych or the mental health therapist, but they may want to tell their girlfriend what they're going through. And so we have classes that these kids take to learn how to be that, to build that peer-to-peer relationship with the kids. So very excited. Among other things, we have STEM, we have art, we have all kinds of Spanish, we have all kinds of music. If you know John Ferrandini, one of the top music teachers probably in the entire, I don't know what, he's just incredible at Tropico. And so we're giving kids a lot of choice. Even our students with special needs, they don't have to just go to school all day and not get an elective. They're getting at least one elective. Most of the kids who are good students, decent students, who are not behind on any credit, they're getting 2 electives a day. So they could be in AVID, or they could be in STEM and be in one of John's music classes, or they could do art and something else in Cadet Corps. So that it makes them want to be at school, not just, oh, I gotta go to school, it's so boring, it's so this. We want them to be motivated to be there. And so, as was mentioned, the mobile Vietnam Memorial Wall is coming, not on the 11th, it's coming on November 7th. It will come up Sierra Highway, and then down Rosamond Boulevard to West Park Elementary School, the morning, 9-ish, 9:30ish, something like that. And probably after it's the final setup, it will open up maybe around 2:30 or 3 o'clock on November 7. So we are taking donations, not fundraising. We're not fundraising, we're taking donations. And the reason we're not connecting the wall's name to any fundraising is because the original wall committee is a 501(c)(3), and I have said this over and over and over in our committee meetings. We cannot endorse fundraising, and yet I'm still saying I'm getting a little concerned because these things are popping up on Facebook where there's fundraising on this date, and then there's an event held over here, and the headline of the event will say something like, some of the proceeds will go to the AV wall. Well, we can't do that. We'll take donations. Southern Kern, along with RMAC, along with the Chamber, are hosting this wall, but if we don't ever get a donation, Southern Kern is going to pay for this. We'd love to have donations because there's a lot more involved than just paying the $7,500. There's 24-hour security. There's all kinds of, there's lighting. There's all sorts of things that have to be put in place. But we cannot do fundraising for this. We need many volunteers, and anyone who wants to volunteer must attend a little volunteer training. That came from Linda Willis and Stacia, who are like very, very much connected to the creation of the wall. They said they have to go through the training. Usually volunteers sessions are about 2 hours in length. So we're asking anybody who wants to volunteer on any of the days. It'll arrive on the 7th. It'll close down at West Park on November 12th at 3 o'clock. And then it'll all get broken down, and then we'll take it back down to wherever the wall is stored. We're having a candlelit ceremony on Friday, November 10 at 8 o'clock. And we're having our Veterans Day ceremony will be on Saturday, 11/11 at 11, and at 11 o'clock a.m. Again, any donations that people want to make, if it's in a check form, it gets made out to Southern Kern Unified School District. We created a line. We've got permission with Kern to create you could help me out here.
A donation line.
A donation line, yes, that is open for this wall, and then everything that needs to be paid will be paid out of that. And then at the end, when the wall goes away, anything that's left over I doubt there will be anything left over, but if there is, we would just donate it to the main wall committee for them to do whatever they want to do with it. So we're also going to have, kids are going to play a role in it. The Cadet Corps is going to play a role in it. If you've ever seen I know some of you have seen our high school Cadet Corps in their uniforms. Oh my gosh, they'll be there. And we're also going to have an essay contest for the elementary, the middle, and the high school kids to build capacity in them on knowing what is the Vietnam Memorial. Why do we acknowledge and honor these veterans, not just from Vietnam, but all veterans. So yeah, that is pretty much. Anybody have any questions for me?
I have two, actually.
Okay.
I was curious what percent of growth of students are we having annually? Is that a consistent increase or a spike?
Well, to get a trend in data, Jack, you need 3 years. And I don't like to look at the year. This is our 2021. This is our 3rd year. Last year, I would say our enrollment went up about maybe, I'm gonna guess maybe about 12%, Jack. And so I'm waiting to see. The first week, I never really look at numbers that much because my numbers on here enrolled could hit 3,700. What I have to count, and excuse my language, is butts in seats. How many of them are actually showing up? And we don't just count the first couple of days. We'll give them a week because we start, as Laura Lynn said, August 9th is our first day of school. Even though it's a minimum day, it's first day of school. Like her, I used to go to school after Labor Day. Now things are changing. And so we count the attendance, but we really look at who are our students more into the second week when people are aware that school has started. And then we start looking at the numbers to assess the growth. But I predict we'll probably hit at least another 10 to 12% this year. Because, and I missed one thing I wanted to share with you. Our budget in Southern Kern is $65 million annually. And so that's both state and federal funds that come into us. And so some of it's restricted. In other words, it says you can only do this, this, and this with that money, and you don't dare to try to move it here or there to do other things. You'll get yourself in a lot of trouble if you do that. And some of it is not as restricted. The only thing, if there was a good thing about COVID, the only thing that I could say might be good is we got a couple of years of one-time money. That's going away. That'll definitely disappear as COVID pretty much has disappeared. So are a lot of those one-time funds. But it enabled us. What it enabled us to do was it enabled us to make sure that every child in Southern Kern had a device, and we were able to raise the salaries of our teachers and our classified staff because we're competing. I've had an AP position flown for Tropico Middle School for probably close to 8 weeks. And I had one bite, and the person who applied called up and said, "Are you guys in Bakersfield?" And we said, "No, we're not in Bakersfield." That was a little scary. Like, okay, not that geography, having to be an expert in geography is all that important, but I was a little concerned. If you don't know, we're not in Bakersfield. And so then on the day of the interview, we still were going to interview this person. He was a no-show. So in 8 weeks, we've had one applicant. Why? Because we compete. So last year we gave an 8% raise. 8% on and 3% off, which helped. It helped build our. We have more teachers applying now to Southern Kern as